All right, Barbell Club folks, here is the video that I promised for stretches, especially with us doing the programming that we're doing now with the 3 day a week programming with a lot of emphasis on positional work. Obviously, we're going to be doing a lot of work on trying to strengthen up our posterior chain, which is going to be our hamstrings and our glutes, our core as well. Want to make sure that you guys are at least have a tool that you can use when you get home or when you're at the gym, that'll allow you to get some good stretching in to make sure that obviously we can stay healthy in the gym. And then hopefully the extra work that we're putting in on strengthening the posterior chain, we're actually stretching those muscles back out so that we can really see some of the benefits from all that hard work that we're going to be putting in. So this is just a couple of different stretches that I came up with that have helped me personally. I dealt with some knee pain, some back pain for a while, and I started doing ROMWOD. And then just with my work schedule, that became a routine that didn't really fit well for me. So I kind of took some of the stuff that I had learned from doing ROMWOD and incorporated it into just about a 15-minute group of stretches that I go through each night before I go to bed. And it has absolutely helped me as far as with not having any serious back pain since I started doing the stretches consistently. And then also once I get in the gym, I can tell a difference in the ease that I'm able to get into positions. Obviously, we worry about our positioning in our squats and then our overhead position as well. So the stretches that I'm going to take you through, I think it's like 5 or 6 stretches all together. Most of them are for lower body because for me, that's the trouble area that I have, or the area that takes the longest for me to warm up. And then there is one group of stretches that I do at the very end for upper body. So hopefully this is something that can help you guys out with stretching the lower body. And hopefully even if it isn't something that quite fits what you need, it at least kind of gets your brain moving in the direction of trying to figure out some sort of routine that you can incorporate outside of the gym. If you think we spend an hour, hour and a half, 4 to 6 days a week in the gym beating our bodies up, please take into consideration spending 10 to 15 minutes every night to try to help yourself recover so that you can go in the gym the next day and spend your hour, hour and a half beating yourself up again. So that 15 minutes that you spend to keep yourself limber and loose, it will definitely pay dividends for your performance in the gym, which I think we all want to perform well when we get in the gym. So I'll move around a little bit here, show you the stretches that I go through, and then I'll talk to you a little bit as we do that. I'm going to have my trusty Beauty and the Beast pillow to help me with cushioning my knees, and then we'll kind of go from there. So like I said, this routine usually takes me anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how long I decide to do the holds for. If you're someone who generally does not stretch a lot, I'm at the point now where I do 2-minute holds on each stretch that I do. But by all means, you don't have to start off doing a 2-minute hold. You can do as little as 30 seconds. And then move from there to a minute, move to a minute and 30, and then on up to 2 minutes. And you can even decide to go longer on the holds if you like. 2 minutes is just an amount of time that I found that works out really well for what I'm trying to do. Okay, so let's go through this group of stretches. So I got my yoga mat here. Got my Beauty and the Beast pillow to help me out. So my first stretch that I do for hips. So I'm here, knee back, driving my chest up, and then I'll put both hands on that knee that's up just to keep me in the position that I want to be in. So for this one, I really feel this one a lot through this back hip, okay? And the more I drive my chest up, the more of a stretch I feel through this back hip, okay? Again, this is one that you can hold for as little as 30 seconds or on up to kind of where I am right now doing 2-minute holds on this one. So I'll hold this one for about 2 minutes. Obviously, watching my breathing. I try to get nice deep breaths in through the nose out through the mouth. Something that you can also try that I enjoy doing. You can do a deep breath in through the nose, hold it, and then blow it out slowly after you hold it. And you can hold it from anywhere to 5, 10, 15 seconds if you like. And then what you should feel after, as you're blowing that breath out, you should feel that area that you're stretching loosen up some. Okay, so that's the first stretch. I usually just go through a series of stretches on each side, and then I'll go through the series on one side. I'll switch and do the same series on the other side, and then I have a couple of stretches that incorporate both legs. So that's the first stretch. Next stretch I do, this one is going to be for my ankles, my Achilles. So this is one where, sorry, move around a little bit so you can see. So I'm still got that back knee on the ground. You should still feel this one through that back hip a little bit, but then our main focus is going to be on this front foot, this ankle, and this Achilles. Okay, so as you can see, my heel has now come off the ground a little bit. I've let this knee jet over the toe, this is like one of the only times when we talk about actually doing that. So again, that heel is off the ground, and then I'm trying to drive the heel back into the ground. That gives me a good stretch through the Achilles. And then if need be, you can take that off arm, put your forearm on that knee, and then put some weight into it, and that'll give you a little bit of extra weight into that stretch for that ankle. Again, you can hold this 30 seconds, minute 30, 2 minutes, however long you want to try to work up to. And then again, making sure that we're breathing on these. And again, you can use those, that deep breath in through the nose, hold it, and then blow it out slowly through the mouth, and you should feel those muscles release a little bit. So that's that second stretch. The third stretch I do, really, really good one. This one is for hamstrings. So now knee unbends, and then I've got this leg straight. Okay? Should absolutely feel this one through your hamstrings. And for some of my folks that have lower back issues, something that you might notice is, so for example, when I stretch my right hamstring, I end up feeling a little stretch also through my lower back on the opposite side. Kind of weird, but that's how it goes. So this is one again that I'll hold for 2 minutes. A couple different variations you can use for this. For the first minute, I'll start with my foot flexed back. Okay, just gives me a little deeper of a stretch higher up in the hamstring. And then for the last half of the other minute, if I flex that foot forward, now I start to feel that stretch a little bit more through the entire back part of the hamstring, and even down a little bit into the calf muscle if I'm stretched out far enough. Still might feel this through this back hip. And if you want to go even more advanced with it, you can start to spread out just a little bit more as you're able to. And you almost start to work yourself down into a split. Either way, you don't have to be as advanced to be working yourself down into a split, as long as you're getting into this position and then feeling that stretch through your hamstring. You're holding it for some extended period of time and making sure that you're breathing through it. You're still going to be doing the work that you need to do to open those muscles up. Okay, so that's the third stretch. Staying on that same side, this is another one that I like to use to stretch out my hips, and then also into my glutes, into the outer glute area here. So fold that front leg over this way. Back leg goes behind me like this. And then I basically just come down and I try to hug that front knee. Okay, and then I'll just sit here. Again, I'm breathing through it, holding it for whatever amount of time that I've decided that I'm gonna hold it for. This is one that you should feel through that glute and then on up into that lower back just a little bit as well. Okay, so that is basically the series that I will go through on each side. So I started on my right side. I would do those 4 on that side, and then I would switch over and do those same 4 on the left side as well. Now, once I've done those, I have one that I really, really like doing. And I'm gonna actually get a bigger pillow for this one. This is one that I just started incorporating over the last month and a half. One that I had started doing when I was doing ROMWOC consistently, but then I had kind of forgotten about it. And now I've come back to it, and I'm actually really, really glad that I came back to it. So this one, I have a pillow up under me so that my knees have a little cushion, and then my feet are together behind me. You can keep your feet together, or you can take your feet a little bit wider. I like to keep my feet together, and then as I'm able to, I'm gonna put these hands behind me, and I'm just gonna sit back, okay? And then depending on how limber I am, I might be able to go back a little bit further. And then once I find a comfortable place, I'm just trying to hold this position for however long my duration is. Again, trying to breathe through it so that I can relax and allow those muscles to relax. This one is a really, really, really good one for people who have knee pain, because it really stretches through these quads, which a lot of times when those quads get tight, it'll cause us to have some knee pain. So that's one that I really, really, really like to do. Obviously, if you can't get back that far, that's perfectly okay. You just go back as far as you can. When I very first started, pulling another prop here, I started with this big ball, and I'll put it behind me, and then I started to where that was about as far as I could go. Okay, and I would just have that ball behind me. I would just sit there, and then I would just breathe from there. And then as I got a little bit better with the stretching, I was able to remove the ball. And then now we've gotten to the point where I'm pretty much back here, and I can hold this for a good amount of time without it really irritating me or anything like that. Hoping that one day I can actually get to the point where I can lay back completely on the ground, but not quite there yet. Okay. The last one that I like to throw in just as a good one for the upper body, a good all-encompassing stretch for that upper body to stretch out our upper back, and then to stretch down into our arms through our lats, which we talk about using a lot. I'll start with those hands out in front of me. Okay, and then obviously you can see I'm still on my knees, and then I'll just sink back. And I'll hold from there. Now there's a couple different variations you can do with this. A lot of times I'll take like the first 30 seconds, instead of holding both hands back like that, I'll kind of shift over to one side and put an emphasis on that side, which when I do that, I feel that really good through my lat. And then once I do 30 seconds on that side, I'll switch over to 30 seconds on the other side, give that one a little attention all to itself. And then after that, that's usually when I'll go and I'll spend that last minute just getting a good stretch through both arms. You can try to really push that head through there. Sometimes you might even get some cracks through that upper back. And you just kind of fiddle around with the stretch just to see what position is going to give you the best stretch. Okay, so again, I know that's a little bit longer of a video, but those are some of the stretches that I've found that have helped me get a little bit more limber, a little bit more mobile, which obviously helps us stay safe when we're doing some of the things that we're doing in the gym, and it pays big time dividends in helping us with recovery and obviously preventing us from having any injuries. So hope the video helps you guys, and obviously if you have any questions on anything that I did, let me know.